I think we'll just wait one more minute, and then we'll keep an eye on the waiting room.
All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started.
Sounds great.
Good morning, and it is still morning. It's 11, feels a little bit later than that, but good morning and welcome to Incorporating Handshake into the Classroom. I am Amy Avalos. I am CRC's career counselor, and I'm also the faculty chair of the Work Experience and Internship Program.
And my name is Cameron Whitfield. I am the internship developer for the Work Experience Program here at Cosumnes River College. And my role, in addition to helping students become job or internship ready, being the bridge between the employers and helping them get engaged with Los Rios, as well as connecting you, the faculty, to the employers and students as well. If folks could keep their microphones on mute. I see someone's. There we go. Open. So since it's a smaller group today, we want to have everyone just introduce, who they are, what department they're from, what campus, and see where everyone's coming from. So, want to jump in and introduce yourself?
I'll jump in.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody. My name is William Garcia. I am the athletic coordinator at Folsom Lake College, and actually new, just starting a few weeks ago. So, but we do employ students to work some of our events. So it's a great interest to me.
Fantastic. Welcome. See.
I can jump in too.
Okay, so I was looking at the screen.
So my name is Eric Anderson. I'm the engineering professor here on campus, and I was interested in this presentation because I get a lot of students that are interested in internships and things like that, and I sometimes get emails like there's an opportunity, but I don't really have kind of the bandwidth to deal with all of that. So I'm very excited that that you are kind of filling some of that role.
Fantastic, thank you. But Kelsey?
Hello, I am Kelsey Ford. I'm an English professor at CRC. I'm really interested in learning about this just because I enjoy sharing what's going on our campus with my students in general, and I don't have a lot of knowledge about how all this works.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hey everyone, I'll introduce myself. Hey, my name is Chris Clark, Transfer Services Counselor over at Folsom Lake College. I also teach classes in our Human Career Development area, and I use Handshake quite a bit with our students, both in the class and of course in my counseling office. A really good tool.
Awesome, welcome, Chris. Vivian?
Hi everyone, good morning. Vivian Dillon. I am the faculty coordinator of work experience over at American River College. I'm excited to be here.
No, fantastic. Thank you. And there's no pressure. If you don't want to, you're going to stay on mute. No pressure. And I guess we'll, if anyone else wants to introduce themselves, jump right in. If not, we'll move on to introducing Handshake.
I'll introduce myself. I'm Tara Baker.
Yes.
I'm an adjunct instructor in the business department at Folsom Lake College, but I also work for the district as a sector internship developer, increasing the amount of internships, particularly in the business sector. And I work from Folsom Lake College for that as well.
Nice, welcome. Thank you.
Hi, can I introduce myself real quick?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, I'm Erica Tyler. I'm an anthropology professor at Folsom Lake College. That's my dog, he's saying hi. I am interested in the internship program because we have a lot of students who kind of don't know that there are careers in archaeology and anthropology. And we have a number of cultural resource management firms in the area that I would love to get connected to, both for Folsom Lake College and for our broader district.
Fantastic. Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Jessica Turney. I work with Tara as a sector internship developer as well. And I am working primarily with CRC, although we all partner together. So thanks, Cameron.
Welcome. Hello. All right. So we are just going to give a brief overview of the agenda, what we're going to talk about, and then just dive right on in. So we are going to just do starting off with a brief overview of Handshake, what the goal of Los Rios, what our goals are as a district to use a platform and how we got here. And then we're going to jump into how students use Handshake, and we're going to do a brief demo of what it looks like on the student perspective. And then Amy is going to talk about how to what are the tools that are available for you as faculty to incorporate, the actions you can take to connect those dots between what the students are learning in their classroom, career goals, and then seeing what's out there. And then we'll have some time at the end for a Q&A.
All right. So what is Handshake? So Handshake is the nation's #1 college to career network. Handshake's mission is to help every student find a great job. And they're doing this by connecting colleges and employers from across the country on a single network. Employers can now post jobs easily to multiple schools instead of being constrained by time and resources to only recruit from a small pool of elite universities or just universities that they may be aware of. So Handshake was really designed to level the playing field, that there's no hidden jobs out there for students, that every student has equal opportunity to apply, to look for, to read about, and then to apply for positions that they may be qualified for. And so with Handshake, with every position that comes through Los Rios being posted on Handshake, we feel that every student can use this tool to find a great job. Some people may ask, why use another online job board? Why not just use Indeed or LinkedIn? So what really sets Handshake apart from other sites like Indeed and LinkedIn? And what Handshake has been designed for from the very beginning is that it is for college students and recent graduates, which is very different from Indeed. It puts a big focus on the relevancy between the students' career interests. We partner directly with Handshake, meaning we can use Handshake not only for job postings, but also for different career events. We have access to tool and to data to help guide students through a better experience with Handshake. And we work with Handshake so closely that we give feedback to Handshake. We work to modify different screens, different interfaces to really make the experience the best experience possible, not only for our students, but also for our employers. So we are very much a partner with Handshake, where we are not with Indeed or LinkedIn. What they do with their sites, they do with their sites. But we really focus and tailor as much as possible Handshake for the needs of our students. And Handshake is partnered with schools and employers from across the country, the state, the county. We have one thing that's great about Handshake is that Sac State and UC Davis also use Handshake. And so as our students transfer to four-year universities, if they have used Handshake at CRC or another Los Rios campus, then they will already have the tools, their profile, and be able to easily make the transition from using this online job board within Los Rios to UC Davis or Sac State's platform, which will look a little bit, will be a little bit different because once again, the schools can tailor what the different features on Handshake by their needs. And so it's a great opportunity for students to start learning about it here, but then also for those that are thinking about transferring to have that continuity. So Handshake just brings together students, colleges, and employers really all onto one platform. Handshake has become a major channel for local employers. 100% of the Fortune 500 companies use Handshake, and then we have been actively recruiting within Los Rios for our local businesses to recruit on Handshake. There has been, maybe you've even seen it on different social media, different advertisements, but Los Rios has had specific marketing campaigns to local employers to get them to post their positions, to become aware of and to post their positions on Handshake. And so we're really excited to bring these opportunities to our students. And then go ahead and do the next slide, Cameron. Yeah. So just a little bit of background, and this applies. I know we have a lot of participants here from not just CRC, but this data goes for all of Los Rios. So we launched Handshake in August of 2020. What happens is when students register with or come to CRC or to a Los Rios campus, they basically have an account already created with Handshake, and they just have to activate it. But currently, we have had 26,000 plus students activate their accounts within Handshake. So every student is in kind of a pre-populated into Handshake, and they just have to activate it. But we have over 26,000 students that have activated their internships. We have connected Handshake with over 6,000 employers, and we have over 5,500 jobs currently posted in Handshake. And all students, it's available for all students. It is free, and all students need to do is log on to activate their account.
Yeah, and the other benefit with Handshake over Indeed and those platforms is all the employers and jobs are vetted on the platform. So so students, and you can be confident, like the employers and the job opportunities on there are quality, and reduce the risk of like predatory employers who are asking for like personal information, all those terrible practices. So they can be confident that whatever's on there is quality. So that's the thing I wanted to bring up.
And so our goal with Handshake is to ensure that the opportunities, that all of our opportunities on the platform, including full-time work, part-time work, internships, on-campus jobs that could be full-time positions, part-time positions, temporary positions, and also federal work study positions are posted on Handshake. And what we found is our campus supervisors have seen a significant increase in the number of applications and are able to fill their positions faster by using Handshake compared to our previous practices. So we locally here on our CRC campus, we are finding that it's been a huge success connecting our students to on-campus positions. And that's just here at CRC, but that also spreads out to employers throughout the region.
Okay, thank you. So now we're just going to dive into a brief demo of what the students see when they log in. So let me stop sharing and switch over. So when students log in for the first time, their majors already populated into Handshake, but when they first log in, they'll be asked about what kind of opportunities they're looking for, what kind of fields they're interested in, and it will start generating tailored recommendations for those opportunities. And then whenever a new position gets posted or an employer that they're interested in registers for an event, they'll be automatically be sent an email notification about a recommended position. And also, as career staff, we have the ability to send targeted emails to majors and eventually to different student groups on campus, so to really increase the visibility of the positions. So let's see, where'd my mouse go? So just a few things we want to highlight. So students have a profile page, very LinkedIn-esque kind of page where they can fill in their experience, highlight their skills, and by default it's private. But if students decide to make it public or open to employers, employers have the ability to message students, and students have the ability to message employers. So I have my student account open, and I get messages from employers at least once a month about being recruited for a position, which is very flattering. But so employers are reaching out to students. So another section under here is discover more students. So it's really about having open conversations and networking, which we'll get into later. But students have the ability to see students who've graduated in their major from not just Los Rios, but from all over the country, to learn about where they're working or what they've done after they graduate. So it's a pretty cool feature that I always recommend to students. So the main tabs up here are jobs, events, and employers. So by default, Los Rios jobs and campus jobs are pushed to the top, and then students will see the recommended opportunities, based on their majors and the options that they selected. So there is a lot of functionality here in terms to help students narrow down the fields. I always recommend, even if they select have like Sacramento or as base as their main location, I would still highlight by location because students can see opportunities from all over the country. They can narrow it down by internships, part-time, on campus, but there's a much more functionality if students want to narrow it down, if they're just looking for remote opportunities, or really narrow down by industry, or even selecting their major and see which employers recruiting for their specific major. And on the page, it's very clear. It's very clear to students of what the position is, what the pay is, and they can also connect with other students who may have worked for that employer. So it's very helpful. And as a side note, I've not sure all kept up with the news, but starting this year in California and several other states, employers have to put a salary or a salary range on their position. So, and I know Handshake is incorporating those new laws into the platform. So employers have to put the salary range. The next section is the events page. So Los Rios, all of our workshops that are hosted by the career centers and work experience are free and open to students, just all, all 4 campuses. Right now, there's not a lot of our Los Rios workshops yet because I have not put them on. We haven't put them on Handshake yet. But employers have the ability to request events as well, and we're encouraging employers to do so. So there's usually at any time there's usually several career readiness workshops, from like resume writing to employer info sessions. And we have several great ones coming up for those who are interested in the health or pre-health fields, as well as folks who are looking for, like, another great one coming up in a couple weeks is like summer internships for the Bureau of Land Management. So they're more and more posted every month. On the employer side, students have the ability to see all the employers who are connected on Handshake, so they can start researching the employers and start networking. And just as an example, we'll just pick this top one because they have examples. So on the employer page, there'll be, of course, their contact information and the ability to reach out to the employers themselves. But when students indicate that they worked for an employer, you can see who's worked for them, or sometimes they'll have sections for reviews, and to provide feedback or provide information about their interview process. So it's a really great starting point for employers. So this is just a general overview. Oh, and then on the front page is just a great summary of recommended positions, opportunities that are highlighted by Los Rios, and so on and so forth. So, and then the last thing I'll mention is Handshake has a great app as well that's available in iOS and Android. So students can, if students have their resume or their documents attached in Handshake, students can apply for these jobs right on their phone or get connected with events. So it makes it very easy for students to get connected with opportunities.
Makes it a little bit easier at the beginning when they set up their profile to do it on a computer. But once they have their profile and they've kind of checked it out, the different features, then there's really no need for them to log on and use the computer. The apps work fantastic, and students can easily check the status of a job that they've applied for from their phone and use their apps for Handshake. But at the very beginning, we do recommend that when they're setting up their profile, it does go a little bit smoother and a little bit quicker if they use their computer to set that up.
Oops. Yeah. I was trying to stop sharing, but
actually, Cameron, will you go back to jobs for a second?
Yeah.
So just one other thing, I wanted to show how easy it is to apply for a job. When a student is reading and reviewing a potential position that they're interested in, they have these buttons that are, for this one says apply externally. Cameron, will you click on that? And they'll go through, and it's a pretty straightforward process. They attach their resume, they attach their cover letter, and these two are determined by the employer of what the employer wants. And then from there, they go ahead and go to their external site. So some employers will allow students to apply just real quick, apply through Handshake, and then other employers actually will link it out to their external site. But it'll always tell them on Handshake how to apply, how to upload their, what type of documents that they're needed. If there's other documents that they're interested in, the employer can list it there for them to do. So it's very straightforward. The language is consistent between every single job posting, whether it's internship or full-time. The screens look the same, whether it's internship, full-time, part-time, and the students can easily navigate this site either on a computer or on their mobile devices.
Yeah, thank you.
Any questions about the demo? We're going to talk more about, but since it's on the screen right now, any questions? Okay.
Right.
So we're going to switch over to incorporating Handshake, some ideas on how you can incorporate Handshake into your classroom or into your counseling sessions or into your meetings with students. So Handshake is more than just a job board. It really helps students become career ready. And that's where the events and the employer links can really take the student to the next level with becoming career ready, is not just using it as a job board, but using the other features to really help them learn about employers and be prepared to apply for positions and learn about different opportunities that are out there. So some benefits, if as you're talking with students, like I said, in your offices, in your classrooms, is to just let them know, right? Let them know about this resource and some of the benefits that, how many employers that they could be connected with, over 6,000 employers and counting. Many students may not know the difference between a job or an internship, and to let them know that they can find both on the Handshake platform, and that also that they can access the career resources and events on our different campuses. So just letting them know the benefits of Handshake. Then going a little bit further is encouraging them to actively to activate their accounts and complete their profiles. So students are 5 times more likely to get messaged by an employer with a complete profile. Employers can search for students by information in their profile. So if an employer has a position and they're not getting a lot of traction, they're not getting a lot of applications, an employer can log on to their Handshake account and they can do keyword searches. And through that keyword search, students will populate and they'll come up with a list of students that have whatever that employer is looking for, and the employer can reach directly out to those students. So when students complete their profile, there is the the opportunity that students can be messaged directly for jobs by employers without the student even having to apply. Also, as Cameron mentioned, when you activate your profile, you will get notifications and emails about recommendations based upon your major, your interests, and what you've included in your profile. So, bringing it up into your day-to-day interactions with students, you can invite career services into your class to do a presentation. You could, just some ideas, you could require students to log in and complete their profile for a classroom assignment. You could, as you're talking with students and talking about career opportunities or what students can do, you mention Handshake. And then you can also possibly add career services and Handshake as a resource in your syllabi. So we have an example of what that might look like. And so, putting some information into your syllabi about career services and Handshake, so they have that available throughout the semester or when they're ready to log on and activate their profile. So if you don't necessarily incorporate it as an assignment or extra credit or something like that, having it in your syllabus could allow students to access that information when they're ready. I want to go ahead and go. So Cameron, I'm going to talk a little bit in more detail about how you might be able to use the different features that Cameron just demonstrated to you. And One of the things is job postings, right? That's the first thing. That's mainly what people think of when they think of an online job board, is looking for jobs. But many students may not be ready or interested in looking for a job yet. But doing a job search is a great part of their career exploration. Just putting in potential job titles that they might be interested in working in, and then seeing what are the qualifications, what type of degree do they have to have, what type of prior experience, what type of skills are required. And students can use that information while they're going to school to help build those skills, prepare for an associate's degree, prepare to transfer, so that when they're ready to go and look for that career position, that they already have, they've been working on preparing themselves for the last couple semesters or the last few years, whatever it happens to be. But so as faculty, you and staff, you can demonstrate a quick job search during the class to show what types are available and to learn about where opportunities are in their field. This information you could incorporate it maybe into a career exploration assignment. But when students can connect their education to their future career opportunities, it will help them be more confident in their career decision and help them with reducing the number of times that they change their majors, if they can have that information. Cameron also referenced the networking and messaging employers and different companies. This is a great feature of Handshake and can be used in the classroom, because a lot of times I've heard from many faculty that they might assign like an informational interview for their class. But students don't know where to go. They don't know who to contact to get that, to have that informational interview. And so they can log on to Handshake, click on that employer tab. They can type in a particular company maybe that they're thinking about. They can look for jobs in the field, and they will easily find names, emails, job titles, reviews, so much information, company profiles. So much information is at their fingertips within Handshake that can help them successfully complete an informational interview assignment. It might not even be with it could be with a person who's worked for a particular company, like Cameron had also demonstrated that will pop up on the screen. It'll show you different people that have worked for that company. So there's a lot of information besides just looking for a job, but the students can use the employer feature to connect, to message, to get more, maybe more of their specific questions answered. And in the classroom, that could be incorporated as possibly an assignment, like for an informational interview. Also, faculty could offer credit or extra credit for attendance at one or more of the Handshake career readiness workshops. I'm hoping those of you at CRC remember seeing the monthly emails that come out. So every month we send out a email that tells about all the different workshops that are available on Handshake for that month. It comes out in an email with the hyperlinks, and then it also comes out as an attachment for you to print or to post somewhere. But all of our workshops are posted, and we have, sometimes it's 2 pages of workshops that are available for students during just 1 month. So different workshops they might find that are not posted right now. As you saw, we didn't have any available at this moment for the month of January, just because the beginning of the semester. But students can come on and do like a Handshake 101 workshop. If they're not familiar with how to utilize Handshake, they can go to a Handshake 101 workshop. We have workshops on resume writing, interview strategies, how to network. We have a number of students who are interested in getting state jobs. And we have workshops that are really, how do you apply for a state job? What are the strategies? What's the best way to go about that? Because we know that it's a difficult process. And so we have workshops on that. So career readiness workshops. Justin, you have a question?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So for the career services, is there a site or a place where all of those workshops are listed throughout the entire district, or is it just kind of secluded to each campus?
So those workshops, they're all posted in Handshake
Okay.
and they're posted under the events tab. So when you log on to Handshake, the second link across the top is events, and all of the workshops are posted there throughout the district. So when a workshop is hosted by CRC, it's posted there. When ARC hosts a workshop, they post it on Handshake. So no matter, all 4 Los Rios campuses all post their workshops on Handshake, and you can access that through the events.
Thank you.
Here at CRC, we just send it out as an email to everyone on our CRC exchange, just to make sure that everybody at CRC is aware that may not have logged on to Handshake. So we just kind of use, and also as a little like, hey, log on to Handshake, take a look at what Handshake has available. But we send that out just as an extra, basically. But all the postings are, all the events are posted on Handshake. Also, Cameron had mentioned employer presentations. So if they're, for example, let's say you teach bio or chemistry, and you have a lot of students that are interested in going into the medical field. Well, this semester or just coming up on January 26th, we have Prep Medico, Navigating Your Path into Medicine, sponsored by UC Davis and Kaiser Permanente, are doing a workshop. So the different industries will come in and they'll partner with us. Just specifically different employers. For example, Cameron mentioned the Bureau of Land Management. They're starting to recruit now for their summer internships. Those presentations are posted under the events. You could offer those as extra credit, or possibly for credit, that they attend so many workshops as a part of your class, so that they can start learning even more about what's going on in their field. I know a lot of professors bring in outside and guest speakers, but that's a lot to coordinate on faculty's and professors' end, that making those contacts, making it fit between the hours of your class, making sure that that person's available. And we would be happy to assist anyone who has potential employers that they would like to connect and do a presentation. We can get that set up where they could put a presentation on via Handshake and make that open to the district, so that they learn about maybe their company or different opportunities. For example, in anthropology, being able to post some of those opportunities for students on a larger scale. So there's just from various industries, and it's kind of hit and miss. It's not necessarily that we have the same employers present every single month. They may present in January and then never present again. It just may be what's going on with their hiring processes, and whether or not that they're really looking for people, or maybe it's something that they want to do ongoing, and we will work with the employers to help them meet their needs. Also, virtual career fairs. Big thing now, obviously, post-pandemic, employers are still interested in doing virtual career fairs. And so those are also posted on Handshake. We post our Los Rios sponsored career fair is through Handshake. We also have individual companies that will host their own career fairs or hiring events. And then we also have different community-based organizations that put on career fairs, and those can also are available to students through Handshake. So for example, on January 30th, the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation is hosting a virtual hiring event for correctional officers. So once again, very specific, right, for students that are interested in becoming a correctional officer, but they're having a specific hiring event, and that's available on Handshake. And we are happy to confirm attendance of your students at any of these events. Handshake has a great registration process, recording data, and we are able to confirm students' participation in any of these type of events if you would like that for verification for points or for credit or extra credit. So any questions on those suggestions?
And I think something I'll add to that, since I do work, I do work with a lot of employers, is bringing more of those. I bring, support employers to host virtual events. Often employers are knocking down my door looking for students, but those events that are like with your departments, about the panels, because I know I've seen a few around CRC. Those are kind of opportunities that we love to partner on. It doesn't have to be like a big formal partnership. We are here to support you and spreading the word about your opportunities. And I think there's something that's I have on a later slide. But if your department is offering has like an internship program, here at CRC, our real estate program, we found out that they had a partnership and a mentorship program for like 15 years where they have where they place students with a mentor with a realtor. So we put that class / mentorship on Handshake this last semester, and the faculty have already seen an increase in interest in the mentorship program and signing up for that prerequisite class to be able to have that opportunity. So it kind of there's multiple ways that we can help direct your class and spreading the opportunities with these partnerships. So that's something I enjoy doing. It's part of my job. So please, reach out to us.
So is Handshake a CRC? Is the department on CRC's campus, or are there? I'm over at Folsom Lake College. Are there people at Folsom Lake that I can walk into their office and talk to them about it?
Yeah. Yes. So the primary drivers for the Handshake support at each campus is through the work experience offices, and probably the work experience office #1, and then those campuses that have a more robust career centers would be the second department to reach out to. But it's primarily our work experience team who's driving Handshake. So at Folsom, you say you're at Folsom, Julie Collier and Dustin, who is the temp classified under work experience, would be the people to reach out to. So
those Handshake is a district-wide platform.
Yes.
So all 4 campuses use Handshake, and all 4 campuses have staff to support Handshake on their campuses. It varies by campus. As Cameron said, some campuses have robust career centers. Other campuses don't necessarily have the resources and staffing in their career centers. And so it really depends upon your campus, but you would either reach out to your career services or to your work experience and internship program to find out more about how it's utilized on that specific campus. But these tools that we're showing today are available to every student across the district. Every event that's posted is available to every Los Rios student. If it's hosted by American River College, it means that it's just hosted by them. It doesn't mean that only American River College students can go there. And that's one of the great things about Handshake with employers, is that when an employer reaches out to CRC and they say, yeah, we want to post a job at CRC, that job that they post is available to all students within Los Rios. So it will never be just available to CRC students. it will be available to every student within Los Rios. So when and they also don't have to, employers don't have to register with 4 different colleges. They can go on, register with Handshake, indicate their interest in Los Rios students, and then their positions will be possibly available. Obviously, we go through a vetting process with the employers, but would possibly be available to all students within Los Rios. But getting connected on like career services, having them come out, do a presentation, some of those more specific things on your campus, just reach out to your career services or to your work experience and internship program. Justin, did that help?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. And the posting once is usually the employer's favorite part. So anyway, so another great way, this is probably like a great segue from that conversation, is another great way for you to stay connected with what's happening at Los Rios, at least with Handshake, is you can sign up for a Handshake account as well as a student. So this is great, like in the classroom. So, well, you as faculty, so you can know what's going on. You know, faculty and counselors, you could pull up your student account, walk them through the student view, and you know, have that hands-on opportunity. And since you would be a student, and if you select the different majors and things you're looking for, you'll also get that email about new opportunities that are happening in that major or field, so you can share it with other students. So all you have to do is go to the Los Rios apps that join Handshake /register, and then use your email, and it's very easy just to create a student account. And then if you do create an account, let us know, and then sometimes those are rerouted to a different thing on Handshake. So let us know, we'll get you approved, and then you'll be off and running as a student. So this is one we always advocate for.
And just to let you know that when you go through this process to register, you're registering as a student, but you're not pre-registered into the system. So because that, you will have to be individually approved. Students do not have to go through that process, because once students log on with their through the single sign-on, the system will find them, because all students are pre-registered. So it's very seamless for the students, and they can literally activate their account and search for jobs within 5 to 7 minutes, very quickly.
Yeah.
Faculty and staff that want to create their accounts, it's not as quick, because it does have to be, your account will have to be approved. Like, we're going to make sure who you are before we give you access to the site. Okay. But so there is a little bit of a difference. So I don't want you to log on and think, oh, this is kind of clunky for me to register. It's just because you're not pre-registered. The students have a much more seamless registration process.
Thank you. And going back to the employer, we talked about all this, we kind of jumped into this a little bit early, but we know as faculty have worked really hard to develop a lot of great employer partnerships with folks, and Handshake is just a great way to really enhance that partnership and really help U.S. faculty and employers find students. So we encourage you to, if you have employers that you're working with, bring them onto Handshake, and talk about all the benefits we've talked about. Connecting with students, doing the events, and how they can elevate their recruitment as well. So in this presentation, we're going to send the recording out and a copy of the PowerPoint as well. But it's just a sample template that you can send to employers that you're working with if you want them to bring them on board. So and then
a couple of you mentioned that at the very beginning as you were doing introductions, that
Mhm.
you have employers that you're working with and you're wondering how to refer them. So we'll provide you this, and it'll make it even easier for you to just copy and paste that in with the contact information and send it out to
Mhm.
potential employers that you're working with that you want them to get connected with
Mhm.
career services and also with Handshake.
Okay, thank you. And then in summary, before we have some time for Q&A at the end of what we just kind of went over today. So I've been working with this Handshake project for I guess now 3+ years now, going through all the different other platforms that are out there and choosing Handshake. And the one thing I wanted to mention is Handshake is truly invested in its stakeholders, students, staff, faculty, career services, employers. They offer webinars for everyone. They're something that they're really heavily invested in is ensuring that Handshake works for community colleges. So they're developing new committees with community colleges from all over the country to make sure that the tool works for everyone. So that's something that's really one of the reasons I really love them. So like we talked about, some recommendations. Put in, great way, put in your syllabus as a resource. We have that template. An early assignment is requiring students to log in at the beginning of class or before class starts. Invite us to talk to your Amy and I to talk to your class. Just to do a brief overview and get to know who we are, talk about the resources. We can do a great 10-15 minute presentation. And finally, talking reaching out to your employer contacts and bringing them on board to Handshake to help your employers connect with students. And then there's some additional resources that we're going to share as well. Handshake has there's this great one sheet handout about 5 reasons why you need Handshake. I'm gonna skip to the blog and then do the video. Handshake has an amazing blog, a student blog that they offer that has resources about networking, highlighting different employers, resumes. Like they're just a great student blog that you could just highlight in your class. And then finally, Los Rios has their own introduction to Handshake video. It's a great 5-minute video that we did that goes over how to log in, what the benefits are, and it's just a great short overview. So it's something that you can post on your Canvas pages, or it's a great overview to share the 5-minute video with your other faculty in your department, in addition to this recording as well. So just to spread the word amongst other faculty that that weren't here. So just easy resources to share out. So that is the long and the short of it. So now kind of Q&A. We have we have probably 15 minutes or so for any questions that you may have. So do you want to have any questions, comments, concerns that we can answer today?
Yeah, I have a question. So federal work study posts, are they automatically posted on Handshake? So or is that
Those,
something that the supervisor would have to request and work with financial aid with?
so how the departments post the position. So they're not automatically posted. The supervisor would have to post them.
Mhm.
So if you are that's a good point. So as a supervisor who hires students, you can reach out to me to be added as an employer to the CRC staff list. So you can have the ability to post your positions. So the first step with the federal work study side is, if it's a newer federal work study position, to connect with the federal work study office. And then once it's cleared and you do the paperwork, and then you would post, you would have the ability to post on Handshake yourself as the supervisor. And I have a whole separate training for supervisors to post positions, and I'll post one of those sometime in the spring.
Can I ask you, how is that? Are people doing that? Are supervisors posting their federal work study
Oh yeah,
positions on there? Okay.
federal work study has the most positions, at least at CRC, on Handshake, and have had the most success in hiring students on the platform. So it's not when you there's the posting position pieces, and then, which we'll go into something else later, there's also some great applicant management functionality behind the scenes to help you streamline some hiring. So that federal work study is like the most utilized, at least at CRC. So yes.
Cameron, you want to just show a quick demo of like how to look at the federal work study? So at CRC, it's required. If you have, the only way to post a federal work study position at CRC is on Handshake. And that is across the board. No one posts jobs anywhere. Everything gets posted on Handshake. And Cameron does trainings for the supervisors. And when we have students that come in that are looking for positions, we can show them just with a click of a couple buttons what types of positions are available for federal work study students. You can do it as searches, and we require our supervisors to label their federal work study positions just as that, so that it's clear, right? Some students don't have federal work study, so why even go through the process of applying if they aren't eligible for federal work study positions? So when you look at the list that Cameron's scrolling through right now, you can see that the CRC position in the chemistry lab is federal work study. But if you go down right there, the CRC game day worker in athletics is not a federal work study position. So we can quickly guide students and show them, okay, if you have federal work study, you're going to look for the ones that actually say FWS or federal work study. And if you don't have federal work study, you don't even bother clicking on them, basically.
Is there a way to,
No.
Thank you. Is there a way to only look for federal work study?
Yeah, you could do a search. You can,
Okay.
that little search button right there, we have CRC.
Mhm.
You can do on campus, and then you can type in either federal work study in the search box, or you can do FSW, but it should all be federal work study.
Yeah.
Some places put FWS, but we try to recommend that they spell it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And
that
then-
search feature where it says CRC right now, you can type in any type of characteristic that would be posted on the job, or any employer. So now we're just looking at the ones at American River College.
Yeah.
So that search feature can help narrow it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm sure that we don't require that. And I think maybe we should at all the campuses to require federal work study positions to go on Handshake. I'm assuming that a lot of people do it, but I know I haven't.
Yeah. And so that's something, without going too off track. At the district level, they are working on streamlining streamlining the process for federal work study district wide to make sure it's consistent. And then I've been in conversations as like, you know, in addition to my role as internship developer, I'm also the handshake liaison between for the district. So anything handshake related, you know, I'm usually the liaison for. So I've been in those conversations with those people who are redesigning federal work study to incorporate handshake consistently across the board. So that is in progress.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
I have like I guess a comment or a suggestion. So just in terms of, I like that you have the the video and kind of how to get started with Handshake, like document that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that would be really helpful for faculty, I think, or at least helpful to, I guess, minimize the effort for faculty, encourage faculty to like really get this to the students.
Mm-hmm.
Would be if you guys wrote a like a Canvas page, because I have like a module at the beginning of my each class where it's like, here's a page for this campus service, this campus service, and just like if you guys made something that looked real nice with a short description and like a link to the document, link to the video, that we could just like grab from Campus Commons, just like dump it in there, then it's like 5 minutes work instead of like half an hour work, and like just streamline. Anyways, that's just an idea.
Okay.
If you guys have time for
That's a great suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a couple I know that suggestion has come up recently before, so that's something we'll bring back to our committee to develop those, develop like that Canvas page.
Great, yeah.
To make sure it's
thanks. And
consistent across the
overall,
board.
I just want to say I'm excited about this resource. It seems great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions or things that you want to see on the platform? And if
So we have our contact information.
Yep.
Cameron will put that information up on the screen. At CRC, we are located in the Transfer, Internship, and Career Center, also known as the TIC, TICC. We are on the second floor of the College Center. You just walk up the stairs, take an immediate right, we're right there. So second floor of the College Center. In the TIC, we have transfer, internship, work experience, and career services are all in one location. And we'd also, to throw it out there, you're welcome to bring your classes by to do a little brief tour of the center. We would love to talk to your students about all of the opportunities and all the services that we provide in the TIC, and just reach out to us and let us know if you're interested in having your, having your students come by. We'd be happy to host them.
Yeah.
I have one other question.
Yeah.
So is your center, are you also the ones that help students get to figure out like the tag program and like how they will transfer, all that kind of stuff? Okay, great. I'll come visit. I want to learn more about
Emily Barkley,
okay,
and also Megan Nevis. They are our transfer folks, but they're right here. They're just right outside the door. So, and right next to Cameron. So you can just, if you have questions on transfer, have your students come on. If you want to come in and learn more about it, just walk on in. We would be happy to talk to you about, like I said, any of the services that we provide in the center.
Yeah, and just as a heads up as well, yeah, like we're the place, like wherever your decision is after Los Rios or CRC, whether you decide to transfer or figure out jobs or internships, we're a great one-stop shop. I host career workshops every Friday from noon to 1 because I'm very ambitious and it's been working out on Fridays. So, that's something that's always consistent on Fridays are those workshops. So, my favorite one to host is networking for people who hate networking, those who may not, it's more geared towards thinking about it from a temperament lens. So if you're more introverted like myself, how do you use your strengths as an introvert or if you're an extrovert, using different strategies to build those relationships. That's always one of my favorite ones to do. And something I'm also encouraging is as well for employers to do is for employers to host some of those readiness workshops as well. Because like I said, they hear it from me often, but having people who are doing the hiring talk to students about how to write a resume or interview for a particular field is always generates a lot of interest. If anyone here also hires students or think about hiring students, something I really want to focus on this year is building those campus employer partnerships. So if you're hiring students or want to promote your department and those positions, I would love to have you do a session as well. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. So that's kind of, something that drives a lot of what I want to do this year. So a lot of plugs. Any last things you want to say, Amy?
I just thank you all for taking time out of your Thursday to join us for this workshop. And please reach out to us if you have any questions or would like additional information. But we really appreciate you sharing and taking the time to be with us today. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Awesome. All right, log it off.